Hey everyone, so I thought I'd do a video, and I know us trainers say it a lot that everything starts in the kitchen, weight loss, weight gain and all that jazz. But more specifically today in relation to gut health and how that ties into everything. Now I know we say it often, like I said before, everything ties into the kitchen, and sometimes we preach on calories in, calories out, and yes, it does has its place. But sometimes there's anomalies that happen, and people can be on a low calorie diet and still gain weight, just like someone can be on a high calorie diet and lose weight. Sometimes there'll be like an imbalance of nutritional elements, just something going on that you could be missing, and that's why you could have that weight gain or loss that's unexpected from the deficit or like surplus that you're on. But more specifically to that, why sometimes that happens, you gotta understand like internally what your body's going through. So when you're born, your mum's pretty much giving you what's called microbiome, which predominantly lives in the small intestine. These are small microscopic, like you can't see it unless you have a microscope. So it's like viruses, fungi and bacteria, like that's what the community is. And why they are important, because they help the body function. So when it comes to like breakdown on food and converting it into energy, this is where the microbiome is like predominant and working. So why that's also important is because like you also got to look at the element of like mental health and physical health and internal health, so like your gut health and all that. So sometimes if there's an imbalance and you don't have good bacteria in your body, you're not going to perform well, you're not going to feel well, and mentally you're not going to feel great as well. So there's all kinds going on, and you can have a higher risk of having some kind of internal illnesses or any type of illnesses you're more susceptible to, because you're like weakening your immune system. So it's really important to look after your gut health specifically, and it doesn't matter what kind of calorie input and output that you're on, but looking after your microbiome, which I said is given to you by birth, like from your mum. And to look after that, you got to have like a good balanced diet. So if someone's on high fast food, highly processed kind of foods, you're more likely to destroy those microbiome, and you're more likely to weaken your immune system, and everything else becomes slower. You're more likely to gain weight, you're more likely to have stiff muscles, weaker muscles, perform at your worst, have a very poor energy system. You just won't be able to function as well. Think of it like just in general, living becomes awful, and that messes up your mind as well, because you start to feel awful. So the way to look after your microbiome, because it looks after you and breaks down high complex carbohydrates, is by having foods with prebiotics, probiotics, foods that are going to help feed those microbiome and be able to break down and support your immune system and support your muscle and your energy and have that connection that your body needs. So yeah, everything does tie into your gut health, how you feel, how you deal with illnesses, how you recover, how your muscles function and all that. So just keep that in mind, that when it comes to the kitchen, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be calorie deficit, calorie surplus. You also got to look at the nutrients that you put in, and whether you're looking after that whole community inside your gut that's going to look after you, because it all ties together one way or another, and it always starts at the gut, especially right at birth. Cool. So hopefully that was helpful. If you want more in-depth like info about this, just give me a message. But yeah, cool.